All right, what's going on, everybody? So I'm going to be doing these lives every Friday for the next month or so, leading up to my annual e-commerce conference, the Seller Summit. And so you guys can ask whatever questions you want. I see I already have two questions here, and I literally just hit the live button. But yeah, this is something I've been meaning to do for quite some time. Because I feel like I don't know if your YouTube feeds are like this, and I know all you guys are watching this from YouTube right now. But I feel like my entire YouTube feed is like AI now. It's literally, I want to say like 40% AI. I'm not sure if you're noticing that with your feeds too. So I figure like the way to stand out these days really is to just start going live and prove to you that I'm human. I've actually gotten comments for some of my TikToks and YouTube shorts. It's like, hey, is this guy like a real guy or is he just like an AI avatar? Because I tend to do talking head videos. Um, okay, just a couple things before we get started with the Q&A. Um, I did create a brand new community that's completely free where you can ask questions, interact with other people who have e-commerce stores. The only caveat and the only requirement right now is that you actually have an e-commerce business because I want to have intelligent conversations in this community. And you can be a beginner. You just have to have some sort of online store, or you can sell on Amazon. And the way I'm enforcing this is that you have to have a domain branded email when you sign up. And then there's a couple other questions there. But anyways, if you're interested in joining this free community, just go over to mywifequitterjob.com/community. That will take you over to a form that you can fill out. And within like a couple days, I have someone just kind of vet to make sure that it's a real website, a real business. If you're selling on Amazon or Etsy, that's okay too. That will usually take a little bit more verification. But within a couple days, then you'll be admitted to the Discord group where you can interact with hundreds of other people right now. Okay, so that's that. Go ahead and go ahead and sign up on that with that on your own time. Chris Cody is here. All right. So Chris, I believe he's in my class, and he sells reading glasses, which is something that I've resisted. He's trying to get me to wear reading glasses. But Chris, I know it's a slippery slope. Like once I start wearing these reading glasses, pretty soon I'm gonna need like 10 pairs, like one for every room in the house. And yeah, well played, Chris. But I'm not falling for it just yet. My arms are still long enough that I can still read. A couple of other things I just want to get out of the way in terms of just news. You guys might have heard this, but a judge ruled that the U.S. must start issuing tariff refunds. I'm not holding my breath that I'm going to get any of my money back, but on the off chance that it does happen, you're probably going to want to create what is called a US CBP ACE portal account. If you get refunds, it will occur through this portal. So just Google ACE portal account if you're curious. And then things are just crazy right now. uh, with the war with Iran. I don't know if I want to call it a war. I guess it's probably a war. But you've probably noticed that gas prices have been going up dramatically. I think in my neighborhood, gas went up 50 cents like in the past week. Well, the unfortunate aspect of that is that because oil prices are skyrocketing, ocean freight rates are going up as well. So if you guys are shipping stuff from overseas, which some of you guys are, then you either might want to wait this out or see if you can talk to your freight forwarder and just lock something in early before things get out of hand. I don't know. Things are day to day, so I don't even know what's going to happen. A couple of other things. Actually, let me answer these questions too, because these next pieces of news have to do with some of these questions at the beginning. Okay, so WKS7696 asks, if you could start all over again with an online business, but in 2026, would you start a handkerchief company or something else? That's a good question. Specifically handkerchiefs, I don't know. So really, we kind of stumbled upon handkerchiefs because my wife needed one for her wedding, and it turned out to be a pretty darn good niche that we've greatly expanded over the years. Like it started out with just weddings. Now we do a whole bunch of other things, right? We sell aprons, we sell custom napkins, we sell memorial handkerchiefs. So our business has really expanded. What I like about our business isn't necessarily the products, but some of the aspects of it. Like it's a very simple product. It doesn't take up much space. It's not fragile, like it won't break when I ship it, and it's cheap enough such that if someone complains, we just give them a full refund and let them keep the product. And so the characteristics of what we sell is pretty ideal. So I might consider it. I mean, the competition for what we do has gotten really high. Like if you look on Amazon now, like tons and tons of competition. But we've developed a brand over the years for just sentimental occasions, which has made it like really strong. We have tons of uh, B2B customers, like event planners, wedding planners, that pretty much take care of like a third of our revenue every single year. Now, to answer your question, would I start a handkerchief company? I don't know. Like if my wife wasn't here, I probably wouldn't have started a handkerchief company because that's just not something I'm into, but it turned out to be a really ideal product. Now, another corollary to that question I often get asked is, would you even start an e-commerce business today? And if you asked me that question just 2 years ago, I was kind of evenly divided between an e-commerce business versus some sort of content business because I do both, right? I have my wife quit her job, which is what we're doing right now, and I have the e-commerce business. And if you asked me 2 years ago, I would say it'd be evenly split. Now, because of AI and what it's doing, I don't know if you guys are seeing this. I live in the Silicon Valley, so I see it firsthand. Like content, any sort of information, or even engineering, like it's all getting disrupted. So today, I think anything physical is less likely to get disrupted by AI, at least in the near term. So I'm a little bit more bullish on e-commerce this year than I have been in a very long time. I mean, I've always been bullish, just to be fair, um, because that's what I do. But I'm even more bullish on it. I'm actually less bullish on content right now because, as I mentioned before, um, when I started broadcasting here, I was like, yeah, everything's AI now. Everything. How do you know what's real? People accusing me of not being real, and I'm here live right now. Okay, Alex asks how to draw traffic to your store without spending money, especially on Google advertising. Okay, so this is something that I've been extensively working on, probably for the past 6 months to a year, because uh, people will tell you just go on social media, right? Like that's the way to go, and I believe that. Like if you do not want to spend money on advertising, you pretty much need to be on social media. However, believe it or not, I do not like social media. Like what I don't like about social media is that you have to post every day or multiple times a day. So there's a lot of students in my class, and there's a lot of students, like if you go to Seller Summit in April and you meet up with a bunch of these other sellers, a lot of the sellers who are doing really well on social media post like 6 times a day. And I know you can automate all that stuff with AI, and that's actually one of the sessions at Seller Summit. But to me, it just seems like busy work that has no inertia, right? The reason why I love YouTube is because I can post a video and like months down the line, if I don't post again, that video will still get views. That's not the case with social media. Anyway, so that's like a long aside to what I've been focusing on is basically ranking in AI and ranking in search, mainly AI, because that's like the future, right? And so there's a bunch of things that I did relatively recently. I think I made these major changes close to Thanksgiving, and within 1 month, my traffic increased 25%, and now it's like 35%. It's been a little while longer. There's a way to craft your content, and there's things that you can do to ensure that you get mentioned in AI search and to boost your search rankings. That's actually one of the topics that's going to be covered at Seller Summit by my good friend Jeff Oxford. I'm also going to talk about my own experiences doing this, but that's like low hanging fruit. Like if you do this and you do it right, you can get free traffic from AI and you don't have to post on social media 6 times a day. Now, if you do both, though, if you post on social media and you do these AI searches, and I'm wondering why you actually pointed out Google specifically. In my opinion, Google is probably one of the easier advertising mediums to go for because the conversion rate's really high. Meaning, like when you see an ad on Google, um, and you click on it, you have the price and you have the image, so the conversion rate's a lot higher. and there's less maintenance. Like I look at my Google ads maybe once every 3 months at most. I'm like in depth looking at the campaigns, and it's like pretty easy. It's like low maintenance. Whereas meta ads is something that you need to kind of babysit more, like refresh your creatives once a week or every other week. So I'm just especially asking why Google in your case. Okay, that was a long-winded answer. I apologize. Okay, next level flip official said, I just started your paid class, but I don't even have a product picked yet. I thought about the Seller Summit. I don't have a business yet. I assumed it wasn't for me. Okay, I just want to actually bring this out there. There are people who attend Seller Summit. You should probably, without a business, but you should probably have a product picked out before you go. I want to run this by you guys. I was thinking about putting together a special mastermind pass for beginners. I've never done this before. We've been running that event this will be our 10th year. But if there's enough interest, send me an email at steve@mywifequitterjob.com and say, I'm interested in the beginner's mastermind. And let me just tell you what that is. And it's not set in stone yet. I was just thinking about proposing this because people have asked, and I just want to know what the real interest is. I presented to my class first, and a handful of people were interested. I'm looking at like a group of 10 people where we lock ourselves in a room for about 8 hours. And as a beginner, any question that you have or needs to get resolved happens in those 8 hours with people who know what they're doing. So whether it be setting up your website a certain way, your email marketing, or even finding a product in that case, that would be covered. And 8 hours with people who know what they're doing, help you get set up. And that way you leave the conference knowing what you're doing. If you're interested in that, and again, I'm not sure if we're going to offer, if there's enough interest, maybe for just like 10 people, send me an email at steve@mywifequitterjob.com. And we'll see if we put it together. The reason why it's hard is because you need someone in that room for 8 hours. And it's probably not going to be me. It's probably be one of my colleagues who's willing to run that, just to be straight up, because I got to run the event. Okay, Discord is very confusing. Yeah, it can be, but as with everything in life, it just takes like a little bit of time to figure it out. And once you figure it out, it's one of the most amazing platforms, actually. The reason why I love Discord personally is I can code up a whole bunch of apps and stuff in the background to both monitor the activity, to issue points, do leaderboards, a whole bunch of other things. So, if you're not willing to figure it out, then obviously the community is not for you, right? So it's up to you. I mean, it's free. Like, I'm happy to give you a full refund if you don't like the community. Okay, is Amazon FBA worth starting? Is there any way to sell on Amazon that you feel can still be lucrative? Okay. All right. So my view on Amazon, and this is the way I cover it in my class. I think Amazon is really good still for launching a product. And if you're a beginner, and it sounds like you're a beginner, oftentimes, and I've been teaching my class for 15 years now, right? And I've seen just a whole bunch of students come and go. The ones who are a little bit like, usually if you're a beginner, you come in, you're like, does this even work? Like, can I even make any sales? And often just getting that first sale is like this mental barrier for you to go all in on everything. I mean, I see it all the time. So I always have students validate their products on Amazon first, because if you do the research correctly and you launch on Amazon, I can almost guarantee you'll get a sale in like the first week, right? And when that first sale happens, just something happens in your mind. You're like, oh my God, people are like buying my stuff. Like, I can't believe this is happening. And they get all excited, and then that fuels them to keep going, right? Problem with Amazon is that you can have a hit. Like, you can have a total hit on Amazon, make a lot of money, but then people will start noticing that product because it's a marketplace, right? And then pretty quickly, once your best-selling product gets discovered, people are going to knock it off. And so eventually, the price is the competition is going to catch up. All right. And sometimes that might take a year, 2 years, 3 years, but it'll eventually happen. And you don't obviously have your customer, right? So what I always advise, you launch on Amazon, get sales, and then take the money that you make on Amazon and then pour that into your own brand and your own website. So the answer is yes, it is worth starting, especially if you're brand new and you kind of need like that first sale to get you going. Okay, I'm having some issues with bots building very large carts and then abandoning. Okay. Yeah, Chris, I've had that problem for a long time. So, number one, what is the problem that you're having? Is it that they're starting checkout, which is polluting your Klaviyo email database? Or is it just the fact that they're just abandoning, period? Now, if it's the latter, if it is, if it's them taking up like Klaviyo email slots, then I don't know how you would do this in BigCommerce though. Like for my site, I kind of custom coded like a rate generator. What that means is okay. So one, I noticed a pattern with the email addresses and the names being used to sign up. Followed a very specific pattern, so I nipped that in the bud. Like I just canceled all those people. That actually solved like 90% of it. The remaining people that didn't uh, that didn't get caught in that filter, I put a rate limiter in there. Oftentimes, these bots they just go through pages like super fast, and you can detect that activity and then knock those people out as well. I'm trying to think how you do that in BigCommerce. I would probably have to do some searches for you, Chris, but I'm pretty sure there's some plugins. Cloudflare might. I don't think Cloudflare will stop it. I don't think Cloudflare will stop it. Maybe they have some tools that might do it. Yeah, I'd have to do some more research, but I think every e-commerce store that has any amount of sales has experienced something like this. Okay, Sophie asks, I have been in jewelry trading. I would like to sell jewelry online with a unit price point of $500, 3,000. Do you think there's any chance to succeed? Absolutely, Sophie. I mean, with jewel, okay, so there's two students in my class that sell jewelry really well. One of them, her name is Angela. She actually spoke at Seller Summit 2 years ago, and she primarily her pieces aren't as expensive as yours. I would say they're like 500, around $500. You can check her site; it's over at Azure Jewelry. She generates all of her sales through Instagram and TikTok. And once you build up an email list of people who like your jewelry, that's when like the fun kind of starts. It takes a little while to get to that point. But then what you do is like every possible special occasion, you email and you text people, and people just keep coming back. So you have to build a brand. You're probably going to have to do some sort of social media or influencer marketing in order to make it work. Or like my other student, Yulia, she sells jewelry specifically targeting like the goth market. So it's like a very specific niche that she has ingratiated herself into the community there. And that's why people buy from her. But if you're just going to be selling generic jewelry, it's going to be tough. There needs to be something different about it in order for you to succeed. So I would obviously need some more information in order to help you out there. Chris, okay, sorry, I didn't see the rest of your questions. Cloudflare is more about like solving like spam problems and DNS attacks. Cloudflare is free, so why not use it? I mean, there's no harm in using it, Chris. So just install it and let it go. Like Cloudflare, I think I can't remember what the stats were. It's like 25% of the web, maybe more than that. It was some huge infrastructure thing. Cloudflare powers like a huge amount of websites online. I don't think it'll solve your problem though, personally, but it might. Like I haven't looked at all the features of Cloudflare recently. Okay, I need to boost the pixels on my AMZ store main images so I can make them zoomable. Is there a tool that can do that for me? Okay, Chris, what you can do is you can use AI to upscale your images. That I assume you don't want to take them all over again. You don't have like the originals. Is just my assumption, right? If you have the originals, then all you got to do is just, resize them down to whatever pixel size you need. If you don't have the originals, AI is pretty much the only way to go. I would use Google AI Studio or Nano Banana and just say, I would probably write in. This is what I would do, Chris. You're in my class, right? So go watch the AI Studio lesson in the class. This is where you can build your own custom image apps. And in the app generator, just you're going to vibe code this app. You're going to say, hey, I need a mass upscale generator where I input a group of images and you upscale them to 1500 by 1500 pixels. That will create an app, which I'm pretty sure will work on its on the first try. And then you can just point it to a directory and it'll automatically upscale your images for you. It might take a little bit of trial and error, but that's the route that I would take. Okay, Alex, I spent a boatload of money and got a few sales. Is this in regards to Amazon? Here, let me just scroll up here real quick. Okay, oh, Google. Yeah, okay. Yeah, Alex, this is in regards to Google Ads. Yeah, you can easily spend a boatload of money because Google, like, I don't know why they do this, but by default, if you let Google control your money, it's like flushing your money down the drain. If you're going to do Google Ads, you would do it correctly by being very careful on what you bid. Yeah. I cover that in my class, but I don't think we're covering that at Seller Summit this year. In the past, we've covered it, but yeah, Google Ads are actually, you get the most control, and it's the highest converting app, but you can't just let Google like control everything for you. That's like a recipe for disaster. Okay, would that happen this year or next year? This would happen this year, which is why like we're getting close, right? Seller Summit is only a month and a half away. If you're interested in this, just email me at steve@mywifequitherjob.com and say Seller Summit Beginner Workshop in the subject line. If we get enough interest in like literally the next week, then I will send something out. And like I said, we're just looking for maybe 10 people, and 3 of those slots potentially are already taken. So we're looking at maybe 7 more people if you're interested. This is the first time I'm kind of opening it up and talking about it. I didn't even email this out, so I'm talking about it on live because presumably if you guys are here watching me live, that means there's already interest, right? Okay, let's see. Bingo on the Klaviyo comment. They're also taking inventory off the table for other customers. Yes, that is correct. Okay, what do you think about subscription business that would involve a small physical object, but would include a newsletter and other small Yeah, you're talking about like a subscription box, right? So one of my buddies, he runs Universal Yums, which is now like a $50 million company, which is kind of crazy. He sells a subscription box for food, international food, like all over the world. You can make a subscription box work. Just be aware that it's a hell of a lot of work, like way more work than your average e-commerce store. And the reason why is because every single month you got to put together like something new, right? You constantly have to be sourcing stuff. And that doesn't sound attractive to me. It might sound attractive to you, but one of the beauties of running an e-commerce store is that you sell the same stuff over and over again. Like once I have my vendors and the products that sell well, I just keep importing the same stuff, right? With a subscription box, you kind of always have to be kind of on your toes sourcing different things. So as long as you're aware of that, and you're willing to do that, then yeah, you can make it work. Okay, I'm interested in buying golf carts, massage chairs, bobcats. I was told to purchase from Alibaba 1688. Is it okay, Sheila? That I mean, so first of all, when you say bobcats, like I think that's a brand, right? You're not gonna be able to buy a bobcat branded item on Alibaba or 1688. Massage chairs are different though. Okay, so I guess we need to like figure out what you're talking about. So golf carts and massage chairs are good to go, because all the massage chairs come from over there anyways. I would Sheila, are you Chinese? I know there's a Sheila who I've been emailing with. If you are Chinese, I would go for 1688. So if you guys aren't familiar with 1688, they're all part of the same company. Alibaba 1688. 1688 is actually designed for Chinese vendors, and the prices are much lower on there. Caveat is it's in Chinese, and so you probably need a sourcing agent. So yes, I would probably, yeah, you can make it work for sure. Okay, what are your thoughts about starting a YouTube channel? Okay, out of all the things that you want to start in the content space, I think I'm the most bullish on YouTube for sure, specifically long form YouTube content. In the midst of all this AI stuff, I think video is like the last bastion of of content that won't get disrupted. I mean, it's happening already, but yeah, YouTube by far is the best opportunity. Okay, how to strengthen consumer confidence to buy expensive jewelry online if the company is new to them? Yeah, Sophie, this is what I mean. This is you have to create content that assures the customer. So I would go out and create content like as the founder, talk about how you've crafted the jewelry, what's special about your jewelry, all the thought that has gone into your jewelry, and that's how you're going to establish trust. One of my earliest students who's taken my class, he sells pottery. And I remember when he first started with me, he was actually literally one of my first students back in 2011. He was like, "How am I going to how am I going to sell pottery and actually make a living doing this?" Because like if you go to like Target and you look for like ceramic mugs, they're super cheap, right? You can't make a living like that. So his name is Joel, by the way. Shout out to Cherico Pottery. What he did was he went live every time he threw pottery. Like he literally, like he does it. He's a potter, right? So he does this every day. He just put two phones on. He broadcasted live on YouTube, Instagram, and now he does it on TikTok, I believe. And people just watched him. He would just chat, to the audience and answer questions, call people out by name while he was throwing pottery. Developed a huge audience that way. And today, like his mugs go for like $1,000 each because people love him. And he does these limited edition, mugs and stuff, of which I actually have some on my shelf back there, and I think they're worth like a couple $1,000s now because they're like his originals. That's how you got to do it. Okay, so Ahmad, let's see, you purchased your 8 years ago. Good lord, it's due to golden handcuffs. Okay, means you're probably at like a tech company or something. You have a bandwidth shortage. Well, Ahmad, you gotta make a decision, right? I mean, I can't help you with your bandwidth shortage. It's just all a matter of priorities. I think you could probably pull this off. I mean, I was working full time in the tech industry. I had golden handcuffs and I found time. It's just a matter of priorities, right? I would come home. You guys probably heard this story. I would literally work 10 hours a day, come home and sew for 2 hours and then go to bed. Like I was in charge of the embroidery back then because my wife didn't want to do it. And we had a kid. So that was what I did for almost a year, I want to say. So it's just, again, if you want to do it, you're going to do it. If you don't want to, and you got these golden handcuffs, which I actually had at the time too, it's just a matter of desire. Yes, I do have a video on sourcing from Vietnam and India. However, if you come to Seller Summit, Jim Kennemer specializes in Vietnam sourcing, and he'll be there. He's going to give a talk on Vietnam sourcing, way more in depth than any YouTube video that I can give because the man does it for a living. I do want to say this, the tariffs got struck down by the Supreme Court, but Trump issued some new tariffs, which let me just give you the long story short. All these new tariffs, including the Section 301s that he's working on right now, are going to be targeted towards China, which leaves Vietnam and India as much better bets today. Like it's much more attractive right now, or going to be in like the next month or so, to source from Vietnam and India because they're not going to be subject. They're only going to be subject to that Section 122 tariff, which is like 15%. All the other big ones that you heard about earlier in the year earlier last year, those all got struck down. So India and Vietnam is the way to go. As of right now, things could change. Okay, what are your thoughts on the new Wix Studio, not the Wix editor? Yeah, so I'm not a fan of Wix for e-commerce. Not a fan. No tools support them. There's limited functionality on the e-commerce end, and you basically have to wait until Wix puts out an app that you need, which is probably not going to happen because that's not like their primary focus. So I don't play around with Wix a whole lot. I think Wix is great for like a portfolio site. Would not do it for e-commerce. Yes, there's a translation barrier. Okay, you're in Texas. Okay, sorry, I got you mixed up with someone else, Sheila. Yeah, I think you just go with a sourcing agent if you want to source from 1688. That's probably the best way to go. Okay, Jimmy manufactures hand tools and has experience in finding developing those, but I've now found great sources for manufacturing tool rolls or bags. Oh, good lord, you gotta. I mean, China is the place to go for that. I'm surprised you haven't found any luck. I mean, sourcing a bag is like probably one of the easiest things to do. I'm not even joking. You'll find like thousands of manufacturers on Alibaba. That's probably where I'd start. And then you can probably design something custom pretty quickly. What are your thoughts on ebooks? Yeah, if you asked me that question 3 years ago, I would have been more bullish on ebooks. Instantly, that's when I released my book, The Family First Entrepreneur. I'm glad I released it when I did because once AI came out, like everyone started just like Amazon. I want to say it was a year and a half ago. They just started banning authors left and right because what people were doing, and they were churning out hundreds, thousands of ebooks using AI. And because of that, I am no longer a big proponent of doing an ebook unless you already have some sort of online presence or reputation. I probably will not do ebooks. I mean, it's just so flooded with AI junk today, unfortunately, is the way it goes. Okay, if you create AI content for TikTok, Instagram, TikTok representatives said that TikTok will know and it'll get less views. What's your take on that? Um, I don't know. All my colleagues do it. I do it. Um, I don't know. It just depends on like if your content's good, it'll still do well on TikTok. I can almost guarantee you. I did notice that I went on this like whole series where it wasn't really anti-China, but it was kind of anti-China, and none of those did really like. We're talking like less than 100 views on those. So there's definitely some screening going on. Um, but yeah, if you you're talking about AI content. Sorry, AI content. I mean, clearly not, right? Because I'm getting all this AI junk on TikTok that has like, millions of views. I would just do what you do and just see what happens. If you get penalized, it'll be just on that one video. It's not a big deal anyway. Okay, I'm elderly, but I need to create an income. I can put golf carts and chairs to sale, but need to know what I need to start licensing Okay. All right, so like if you're just starting out, like golf carts is probably not the way to go. I mean, they're expensive, right? Expensive, so complicated. Like there's maintenance. I probably wouldn't sell. I mean, if this is your first time, unless you have extensive knowledge on golf carts, chairs maybe, but chairs are also kind of hard because they're big and bulky. And you need to figure all that stuff out. Um, so if you're elderly and you don't have a lot of strength, I mean, remember these are physical products here, right? I would probably go something smaller and easier to handle. Okay. All right, guys, that's all we had for today. Actually went a little bit over, but if you're interested in joining the e-commerce community and you already have a store, go to mywifecom/community and sign up. And if you are interested in that beginners boot camp that I was talking about earlier, send me an email. Just make sure the subject line says something like Seller Summit Boot Camp on it. And if there's interest, and I'm only opening 7 slots for that, if there's interest, I will consider putting it up. And I know it's only a month away, so I will make that decision sooner rather than later and let you know. Seller Summit is April 21st to the 23rd in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. It's a small conference. I don't like large events. It's 200 people. Usually the day before it starts, we run a private mastermind. This is where we break up people into groups of 10 of similar income levels, similar goals, and we basically help each other with their businesses for 8 hours straight. And then the main event starts where all the lectures are actionable. All the speakers I get actually sell stuff online, real brands. And I make it small. We eat together. I get anxiety at events. So we eat together. We party together at night. Everyone eats together. And that lowers the anxiety level, especially if you're brand new and you don't know anyone coming to the event. So if you're interested in that, go to sellersummit.com. It's a month and a half away. And I will see you guys next week on Friday too. And bring your questions. Hope you enjoyed this live stream. Talk to you guys later.